All right, and we are live, motherfuckers. Holy shit, I was left the keys and I figured out how to do things. So today for Chaos 120, I'll be running this shit show, and hopefully I don't blow it up. And today we got my buddy Scooby331.
Hey.
And we got my man from Kanukistan up there, where it's more freezing cold than here, Mentis Tree.
How's it going, eh?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. It's so cold out there, I think the hobos freeze to death, but everything else is pretty good.
Yeah.
The hell is this thing doing?
Uh-oh.
No, I'm looking at this stupid computer, and for whatever reason, Microsoft Edge was giving me trouble closing out.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I'm trying to close it so it doesn't start me roboting again.
Ugh, crap. That sucks.
So me and Mentis were just talking while you're doing your rounds. How I didn't get a chance to ask you how fun is it over there by you? How cold is it?
Oh, fuck, dude. My car said it was like 5 degrees. Motherfucker, it's way colder than that. It's at least 10 below, dude. Because it's so cold it ain't snowing. So it's got to be near zero, if not below zero.
Yeah. I think we hit zero at about 10 p.m. that is. 10 p.m. tonight. It's currently 12 o'clock where I am, 12 in the a.m.
Fuck.
I was telling Mentis what they're predicting because I'm right on the water. The cold front that's coming in off of the Atlantic, they said it could go as low as minus 10 degrees Fahrenheit or as low as minus 50 if the wind speed kicks up high enough. Like if a gust of wind hits up, minus 50.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah.
Well, that sounds like all sorts of fun.
Yeah, well, let me ask you, do you guys know, is it windy by you guys at all? Like, is it windy in Chicago at all? I know it's a windy city, but I mean, is it mildly windy at all?
Always, dude. Always.
I'm letting you guys know this from what I was watching, because I'm in the Atlantic. I'm not even on it. I'm in it. There's a gigantic blizzard raging in the middle of the North Atlantic right now. That's the reason it's so cold.
That. It looks like a fucking candy cane. I was like, holy shit. This should be on Metalocalypse.
Yeah, and it's going to actually slam into the Northeast. So I'm going to get hit with it first, and then it's going to transfer onto you guys.
Yeah, our Atlantic provinces are predicting a pretty wicked storm as well. They're preparing for it.
Is yours coming from the north? Because I want to see if I'm going to get hit with a sandwich again like I did last year.
No, all I know about it is it's going to hit us on our East Coast. So.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah, because this thing is massive. It's coming in from, I think it's right over by the Mid-Atlantic Rift is where it formed. So it's gaining speed. It's coming all the way from like the Orkneys over by like Scotland and shit. So yeah, it's gonna be
revenge, man.
Yeah, fun way to start off the winter.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm waiting to see how much shit freezes, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me if that motherfucker went all the way from New York all the way to fucking California. I just hope it doesn't put out those fucking forest fires, man.
They're still burning, huh? What has it been now, a month?
Yep.
Telling you, man, I'm not a religious person, but Jesus, these freaking people gotta stop screwing with the president.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's fucking universe's revenge for them being just communist assholes. Like, oh, you're happy about all these other natural disasters that happen in these other places to these quote Trump supporters. Fuck you. We're gonna add you to the list. We're gonna give you a natural disaster. See how you like it. And they're like, see, it's President Trump. He set this fire. Oh.
It is scary though. Like, didn't some big thing happen like the same exact day that Trump did something that fire started?
Yeah. Well, I really wouldn't doubt it.
No, like seriously, that's like people like freaking out. Like I think he signed some law into effect, and all of a sudden those fires started. Like, I don't know.
I think it might have been the executive order. Oh, GCV, what's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, man?
Sorry for being late.
Oh, don't worry. started this fucker late as hell, anyways, because Six left me the keys. He had to go take care of some things. He was feeling under the weather, and I was like, okay, the fuck do these buttons do? So just ignore the fire and all the other crazy alarms and shit going off when you enter the studio.
Yeah, right. Seriously. Give me 1 second. I'll be right there.
Oh hell. Yeah, we're just talking about the fucking candy cane of death that's gonna be coming here.
The what?
The storm, that giant, massive winter storm. It literally looks like a giant, murderous candy cane.
Oh, that thing for the East Coast. Yeah, have fun with that.
I'm just hoping that if it goes from New York, it doesn't hit California, because I want those fires to keep going. Let it burn, baby. Let it burn. Burnside wants fucking cheap-ass real estate over there so you could piss off whatever's left of the Bolsheviks.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if you're in Cali, I mean, you're near North Korea, and after some statements made recently, have fun with that.
Oh, yeah. That dude, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm just like, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say I know I should feel guilty for wishing it upon them, but I don't.
I don't think that's something you should feel guilty for. More just, it's kind of like a funeral. You just want to remember the good times, but, you know, it's time.
Yeah, it was a good run, Callie.
It was a good time, you know. It was fun. They had marijuana and cocaine and stupid hot chicks with massive, just good body build, nice warm ocean. And then they had to treat it for red lines and Bolshevism and all that CCP crap they get nowadays. Yeah.
Let's all just say F for respect. F.
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy. We're literally getting hit with fucking fire and ice here. It's hysterical as hell. But now I just need North Korea to actually do something stupid and nuke themselves again. I mean, did you guys see that? These morons tried to launch a rocket and they dropped it on one of their own cities.
Where was this?
North Korea. These morons actually went to go launch a rocket, and they didn't even get it out of their own country. They accidentally somehow dropped it on one of their cities.
Oh, yeah. It's great. People around here have been freaking the fuck out all day because of Trump with those tweets. I've been having a ball.
Oh,
it's been
awesome.
Pretty great. The God Emperor can do no wrong like that.
Yeah. Oh, I love it because I'm surrounded by them out here. So I've been saying shit to people all day, like, oh yeah, I don't know, scary, man. We're gonna go in the dark, fucking with them. I don't tell them I'm a Trump supporter, and I mean I know that the shit that the Koreans are launching at us are basically the equivalent of like garbage cans, strapped together with like radio parts inside. But I'm not telling them that. I tell them, oh man, yeah, we're gonna glow in the dark. It sucks. They're gonna hit us first, right? Because we're in New York. I don't know. We're in the wrong coast because these people are idiots.
Oh yeah, like they actually know where the coast is. Oh, I thought you were way over here. No, you moron. It's in the other place. Oh, never mind. Just go back to scratching your testicles and eating glue.
I think that maybe if you're gonna get a gender study degree, I think that they should make a prerequisite that these people need to at least know what's what on a globe.
Yeah.
If one of these bourgeois assholes with their friggin' Starbucks cup in hand, why do they always have the coffee with them? But if one more of them comes to me, oh my God, the Koreans are gonna hit us first. We're the closest. I swear, I'm gonna get a scar on my face from the repeated facepalm. Like,
Yeah.
asshole! No, Pacific Ocean. We're on the Atlantic. Christopher Columbus did not cross the Pacific. Did you people not read anything in school? Jeez.
School?
Vaping.
Oh, man.
So anybody else get to see the Andy Worski stream with Richard Spencer, Styx Hexenhammer, Sargon, Millennial Woes? JF was in there.
I got the TLDR from it because, I mean, I don't know. Sargon is a good thinker, not as great in like arguments and like verbal arguments, I don't think.
Yeah, in certain subjects, yeah.
Richard Spencer Sociopathic asshole.
Yeah, I completely missed that. That actually would have been something I would have wanted to have paid attention to.
It was
I
actually
wasn't
pretty
interested.
good. Styx Hexenhammer, actually, he's an excellent debater. Yeah,
Nice.
he really dominated. Like everybody who watched the stream had the same impression that Styx, was a great pairing.
Well, did you
Nice.
see him last month? I think it was him and Stefan Molyneux, and the two of them were talking, and I couldn't believe it. Styx was just like running circles around him. I was like, holy shit, because I seen Stefan talk to people, and Styx was just cucumber cool talking to him. Just handled every question.
Yeah, that's the thing. He maintains his composure, and he also like pays attention to what's being said, what he's saying.
Yeah.
You know, he can really keep up.
Nice.
But that was
Now I
actually
can start
the first,
taking notes.
yeah, that was actually the first time I got to listen to Richard Spencer's views and his exact ideal on how on what type, like what he wants, like the ethno state and all that, and actually how he would implement it. And he just sounds like a fucking idiot.
I'll have to go take a look at that then. Because I never really got the full spin on his stuff either. I got the basics of it from a couple of his different speeches, but it was hard to hear him over the rest of the fucking crack babies.
Yeah.
I've seen him being interviewed, and he's, I don't know, I think he's just like on the other side of Sargon. Like, he speaks very well. His ideas are shit, but he speaks very well, and he knows kind of how to play the narcissistic asshole, but hear me out kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, well, he didn't accomplish that tonight.
See, the whole problem was when they want to just establish this ethno state in general. I mean, if Richard Spencer wants to advocate for white folks, let him. I got no problem with this guy being the white man's equivalent of Al Sharpton. You know, I look at it this way: the blacks need to endure a loudmouth the same way we've endured Sharpton for the past 30 some odd years. You know,
Yeah.
the turnaround is fair play.
Right, so now it's your turn, you pricks.
Yeah, seriously.
I never thought of it that way. That's a great idea. The reverse.
You just got to get him. Just get Richard Spencer to lean away from the damn segregation and the stupid ethno state that he's leaning for, and just as long as he went out there and white knighted for white folks, fuck, I'd get behind him 100%. Just on the fact that he, you know what, Al Sharpton irritated me for years as a boy, all the way through my teen years into my adulthood. Because I live here in New York, I constantly seen the motherfucker. Crowds of people holding up traffic. People throwing shit at your car because you're not the same color as the protesters or whatever. So yeah, fuck it. Let them deal with the same shit that I had to deal with.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I get behind Spencer.
I would have shot him.
That's the only thing I get behind Spencer on is if he wanted to sit there, and go out and rabble rouse, yeah, go ahead. I'm not going to support him. I'm not one of those folks, but just as long as you want to go out and be annoying, yeah, fine. Go right ahead. More power to you. You can just be as annoying as Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and the rest of them. Go right ahead. All the good
I think his popularity is also just a product of the times. If he did this like 10, 20 years ago, I don't think he would have gotten the attention.
Exactly.
Yeah, he would have been on Jerry Springer for a few episodes, and that would have been the end of it.
Yeah, pretty much. I think the reason why he's gotten so popular is because he's been the scapegoat for a while, and then given the Trump derangement syndrome, Caucasians and capitalism, they both begin with a C. Oh, they're so bad, so evil. He was, they just were like, hey, get this guy every time he's on here, so we get a whole bunch of pissed off people to watch our stupid shit and give us money. Because I mean, for the brief time CNN had him on, they had to have made a whole bunch of fucking money.
Oh yeah, Andy Worski had 12,000 people watching the stream. He was trending #1.
Oh, damn, good for him then. Shit, he probably made a good fucking buck for that.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, it kind of amazes me, to be honest, but yeah, that's what people want to watch.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of heavy hitters on there.
I normally never pay attention.
It's not like they were all tuning in for Spencer, right? I'm guessing they were tuning in for everybody on there, and Spencer was probably just a caveat.
Yeah. Well, also the big thing that was going on Twitter is a bunch of the usual suspects on the left. The mouthiest ones. They're saying, oh well, you should have so and so wanted to debate him. Well, and Andy Borski put out basically an open roll call. It's like, hey, you want in to debate him? Send me a DM. We'll work it out. Nobody.
Oh, damn,
nobody.
that would have been fun. Shit, I really missed an opportunity.
Well, I think it was just more from the left that he wanted.
Oh,
Well, Sargon is on the left, so I
Yeah.
guess he's just not leftist enough for the left.
Yeah, well, Sargon and Styx.
fallen pretty well left recently, man.
I mean, he described himself as a classical liberal, but I think what Andy was probably going more for were the people like on the regressive left to kind of join.
Yeah. Kevin Logan did end up coming on.
Ooh, fun.
You know,
He wasn't
I
that
just
bad.
really quick. I don't want to derail this since we got a good tempo going. I just want to mention, as a New Yorker, I have identified my entire life as a progressive liberal conservative, and these people are not progressive liberals. These people are lunatics. I just wanted to say that. So let's just continue.
Yeah,
But
these
yeah.
people are the original quad gender transdimensional brony lords.
Yeah, fucking bastards.
Kid you not.
You know, I never thought in my entire life that I'd actually be sitting. When I say sitting at the table, I mean doing like what we're doing now. But I never thought I'd be sitting at the same table with white nationalists and white supremacists because they're actually, you know, on the chopping block and they're trying to take away their right to speak. I never thought I'd actually be sitting here trying to help these people get their right to speak. You know?
I know the feeling because, like, look, I support your right to say it, but I would disagree with you all the way.
Yeah. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah, and you know what? I wouldn't know if I agreed with or disagreed with Richard Spencer unless I heard him speak.
Yeah, that's exactly the point. And I've actually, I'm sorry, Mentis, I didn't mean to step over what you're saying.
Well, that's good. Well, I was just basically saying that, you know, like I never really sat down and absorbed what he had to say, and he made himself perfectly clear. And I quickly, you know, I don't want anything to do with this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to go over it, definitely.
One of the things I've actually said, and I've talked to people about this, and I've actually advocated, not so much advocated for him, but advocated for Richard Spencer's right to speak, just as much as I've advocated for Tariq Nasheed's right to speak. The reason is both of them, in my opinion, can be reprehensible human beings and have abhorrent opinions, but it's because of the way they're presented. They're both good-looking young men. They're both clean-cut. They both dress nice. They're approachable. So, in other words, like normally when you think of a white supremacist, you think of the guy with the shaved head, the leather jacket with the spikes, the iron cross, the boots. And when you think of one of these Black Lives Matter, you think of one of these people dressed like a ninja walking through the streets with a Molotov cocktail. So when you have Richard Spencer and you have Tariq Nasheed, you have this message now in an approachable package. So you can actually sit there and listen to the person and decide for yourself, oh, okay, his ideas are shit. Because now you're not being immediately biased by the way that they look. That's one of the reasons, like I was telling people all the time, don't censor Richard Spencer because he is shown in this package. If a person really is going to believe this, they're going to believe it. Doesn't matter what the person looks like, but now at least people will listen to the ideas and they can make the judgment and people will say, oh, it's just because of the way the guy looks. Now that's not on the table because they look like everyday human beings.
Yeah.
If I can go on a quick rant to a little bit go off of that.
Do it.
Mm-hmm, of course.
The thing is, too, is that so in the beginning, the media was going, the alt-right, this is the new symbol of the alt-right. The alt-right are the people going for Donald Trump, blah, 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 alt-right, alt-right, alt-right. Well, you're giving all of that out, and then when you finally give that platform, like, here's the man, Richard Spencer of the alt-right, and people are already just, like, revved. Again, if nobody had made up all these absurd accusations, nobody would have cared who the alt-right was. But then people probably were thinking, like, oh, alt-right, like you said, like skinheads and all that kind of fun stuff. But then you just see this guy, and it's like, wow, he's actually, like, serious on this topic. I'm not sure if that scares me or if I want to listen to him more.
Right. Oh, yeah. Basically, he was advocating basically for all non-whites to be segregated like given money, told to get out, go find their own nation state, and there might be he might be willing to concede that they could be allowed like their own little areas within North America, like reservations, akin to what the natives got. And but the only thing is he would not, like, obviously to pull something like that, there's going to be a degree of violence that's going to be necessary, because there's going to be the majority are going to say no, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And,
they're going to want to keep their 40-inch rims and their cocaine and cocaine accessories, man.
they're
going to fucking fight him just as hard as the blue helmets.
And then that's where his argument started to wane, and he just, you know what I mean? It looked like he was trying to avoid it. But yeah, definitely the first hour of the debate, actually the first 2 hours was pretty good. Him and Sargon bickered back and forth a little bit. Styx really was really good with pointed questions, and he stayed on topic.
Yeah. I figured Sargon would definitely hate the hell out of Spencer, because that's his whipping boy, And Sargon's like, oh, the old lines are so terrible.
Well, yeah, that
powerful British voice and just act like you know what we're fucking talking about.
yeah. He gets accused of carrying water for the fucking guy, so you know what I mean, he's got that extra added reasoning behind it, a little more emotional attachment than necessary.
Third of the people that listen to him are just sitting there just eating up all the, yeah, we hate that fucking Spencer guy. Tell us how terrible he is, Sargon of a god. I could just see like a whole fucking horde of goblins just sitting there eating. Fucking.
Probably not far off. Like, seriously, it's actually ironic because he doesn't encourage this at all. Normally the people say, about somebody, they don't encourage this behavior, but no, he actually doesn't. He decries it all the time. So I've noticed whenever somebody goes after Sargon, his fans just take it amongst themselves to go after this person. And I personally think it's hysterical. Like, because he keeps biting Sargon in the ass, because like what's her name with her nose? Anita Sarkeesian. When that shit happened with her, Sargon's fans went after her, and he said, "No, don't do it, and they went after her. And
that's why I make fun of him all the time, because it's like, yeah, you want to bitch about straw, you want a straw man and all this stuff, and bitch about this, bitch about that. Yeah, I can keep my horde in better shape than you can, man.
Oh, did you see that VidCon changed their rules?
Yeah.
Actually, ironically enough, I saw Sargon's video on it.
Yeah.
That's how I saw it too.
Into VidCon, you must be a Protestant British person and speak as I do, and take this dildo and shove it in X amount of centimeters, not inches, centimeters, into your anus.
Okay, I get the point. You really don't like Sargon anymore.
I just decided to slide that in there because I was like, I bet it's going to be something stupid.
No, they literally changed the rules to a level of ambiguity where they can just make it up on the fly and refer to it and say, well, yeah, this is how we referred to it.
Yeah, they made it both broader and more specific at the same time.
My joke might be right. Holy shit.
Yeah. They basically they changed the rules to like Canadian free speech laws.
Oh, fuck all of that. Okay, now I definitely.
I'm sorry, Mentis. I had to take the shot at that law, because I really do feel for you guys. That bothers me.
Yeah, but the thing is with that law is that is so fucking broad and so ill defined that it could mean anything or whatever a social justice tribunal declares it to be.
I know, that's why I got a problem with it. I really don't like that they're doing that to you guys. To me, it feels like they got a gun at your head.
What are you referring to?
Bill C-16.
I don't know what that is.
Basically, it's oh Christ,
bill that rapes Canadian free speech by saying, all right, if you do anything the state doesn't like, you're criminally racist. Long story short.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to what extent?
Oh, it's more towards misgendering people. So basically, like social justice tribunals here are not bound by the courts of law, although their decisions can be enforced by the courts of law, which is really messed up. And all you need to do to get something in front of like the Canadian Human Rights Commission or a Social Justice Tribunal is to make a complaint, and it's up to them on whether or not they pursue the complaint. And if they do, you get raked in front of this commission or this tribunal, and you even if you win, which you most likely won't, you still have to pay for your own lawyer's fees. Like there was this one comedian, he ended up paying well over $100,000 defending himself.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he told a bad joke. Yeah, he told a bad joke.
Oh god, you see, shit like that is why I do this instead of stand-up, and why also, if you look at the description, I have the same disclaimer on all of my videos, just on this one, because people love to sue people just because you know, fucking, ooh, my hurt feelings, my social justice, my Obumunism, and whatever they want to fucking sue people for. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys, you heard about the newest thing now? There actually, there might be something that's going to happen to affect American free speech laws. I actually posted it this morning on Minds, and I put it out on Gab. Apparently, I didn't realize this has been going on now for a while. Smirt told me this has been going on for a little bit. I hate saying it because she's from my neck of the woods, and I actually know her mother. That actress, Lindsay Lohan. She's actually, she's going after Grand Theft Auto because they parodied her, and they said that if she wins,
yeah, they did.
Yeah, but you laugh if she wins this lawsuit. Say goodbye to satire.
I thought they already closed that out.
Yeah, that was so long ago.
Yeah.
No, I was reading the article this morning. It's in an appeals, and if she wins,
oh, okay. Yeah, she lost.
I was like, you're just finding out about this?
Yeah.
No, this is the thing. It's down to the final decision, and they said if she wins, the free speech laws here are going to get fucked. Like no more comedy, like no more satire. You can't lampoon anybody. Like just even like Trump. I remember when I was a kid. I'm using him as an example. They used to lampoon him. They would have characters based on him. Now, if you do that, it's defamation of character. You're going to jail. If she wins, if this case goes in her favor, we're basically going to be in the same boat as you, Mantis.
To be fair, though, if that happened, I would love to see what happened to Kathy Griffin.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Well, the Lindsay Lohan deal, it was mostly over the representation of her, or they used a representation of her in an image.
Her hair, her makeup, her sunglasses, her bag, her hat, the name of the character, the speech, because she had a New York inflection when she spoke. They had a listing, every single thing that they could have tied to this girl. The only thing that wasn't mentioned was the slight gap between her teeth. Like, I mean, they listed everything. It didn't. The only thing I couldn't believe it. I'm reading this thing. It was her and one other actress that are suing, and I'm looking at this thing, and I'm like, okay. Big fucking deal. They besmirched her character, if you really want to call it that. I mean, she's a trollop. But then I'm looking at the thing, and they said, yeah, if she wins, they're not. Think about it. Things like Saturday Night Live would then be criminal. Not that it's not criminal already, but I mean like legit criminal.
I don't know if you guys actually played the game too, and they nailed her like everything about Lindsay Lohan in the game.
Yeah, the game was good. Yeah, she was the mission where you do the photographer missions.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was quite the parody there.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. So that's going to be, if she wins, that'll now become crime.
Be right back. Just gonna hit the can.
Yeah, actually, I got to hop off just for 2 seconds. I'm just going to mute it because my wife doesn't care that I'm on the air. Give me 1 second.
Oh, go right ahead, man. Yeah, I think if anything, yeah, they'll make it illegal, but they'll absolutely skew it to their fucking left-wing propaganda machine. You know, they'll say, oh, well, we can, you know, make all the parodies we want of Donald Trump and Alex Jones and, you know, anyone else that they deem, you know, to be of wrong think. And, you know, they'll do a whole bunch of videos about them, you know, getting murdered and all sorts of goofy crap like that, and, you know, having sex with goblins or whatever and stuff. But if anything, to their, you know, great Sargons of Akkad and Hillary Clintons and Bill Clintons and Barack Obamas and whomever, you know, they'll probably like, you know, arrest you and execute you in public.
Well, I guess there goes our streaming abilities then.
Yep.
Well, I guess that means we all have to play Overwatch now.
Play something, man. I mean, I'll probably just go back on Steam and just, you know, go back to doing my regular nerdery. Because, I mean, now it's literally we're going to be dead or we're going to be red, you know. That's bullshit, you know. I don't think that they should just be, you know, suing the crap out of people. It's like, yeah, they make rip-offs of characters. I mean, in all technicality, my avatar that I made is a modified spoof of this game called Dead State that's on Steam in it. Because you can make your own custom avatar. And I was like, oh, okay, well, let me use this as a base. Let me add on all this crap to it. And, you know, it's a C-rate game, if anything.
Okay.
So
Well,
what,
is it...
Double Bear, like, go ahead and fucking sue me now?
Well, is the lawsuit more based on, like, slander or anything like that? Like defamation of character? Or is it more about intellectual properties? That's also what it comes down to as well.
I kind of had the feeling it was a bit of a mixture of both, where they made both arguments.
Like, is she more mad that they used her in the game without permission, or the fact that Lindsay Lohan is a quote-unquote, like, brand, I guess you could say?
Oh, it's definitely a brand, and she's upset that they went and used basically a discount version of her brand. And, you know, slandered her character, and she's like, oh, boo-hoo-hoo, you know, me not make money for being an actual whore on a video game or whatever.
Right.
It's like, yeah, get over yourself. They made a, you know, B-rate discount version of yourself. You know, oh well. You know, they did the same thing for one of the characters, and they put him in ICP makeup, and the juggler was like, hey, you know, they're doing this. Do you want me to go and sue them? They were like, fuck no, let them do it. It's just a video game. And then it gave them a boost in popularity with their sales and stuff, you know. If people would just not be dicks, you know, they could make a whole bunch of money off of just not being dicks, you know.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, I know. A little too utopian, huh?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Oh, Lord. Jeez. Anything else crazy going on? More actors bitching about things? More people protesting by throwing themselves in the fires, blizzards off of buildings or whatever?
No, I was too engrossed with watching tech reviews on the Ryzen series processors, and then this Andy Worski stream pretty much dominated my day.
Yeah, I really should have watched Worski for a change. I mean, I normally don't pay attention to any of those people just because of the goddamn dramatics. So it's like, oh, you know, I'm going to make this video on how this guy took it in the ass, and I'm going to make it on how this guy's got AIDS, and how this guy is literally Hitler. Oh, and it's like, I don't care.
Yeah, literally, Hitler is the most overplayed thing now. It's not even memeable.
No, tell me about it. It's like, yeah. So what? You call someone Adolf Hitler? You mispronounce Joseph. You mispronounce Joseph Goebbels. I mean, hell, and one of my supervisors was here earlier. He got here like just as I got here, and you know, I made the joke at him yesterday. I was like, okay, so hands down, who would win in a boxing match? Heinrich Himmler or Cthulhu? And he just busts out laughing.
Yeah.
That was awesome. You know, and he's like, oh, I think Cthulhu would beat him, man. I was like, I don't know, man. You know, the right-hand man of Adolf Hitler, you know, I think he could do pretty well in a boxing match against even the great Cthulhu.
Yeah, random is always usually funny.
What happened? Oh, I jump in and I hear Hitler's right-hand man boxing Cthulhu.
I was telling him, I cracked this joke at my supervisor when he came by earlier, and I cracked it by him yesterday too. So I was like, okay, hands down, who would win in a boxing match, Heinrich Himmler or Cthulhu?
And you still have a job.
Yes. It's the one reason why I like this job. You know, I'm like with certain supervisors, I have a decent relationship like that. That's why I don't, motherfuck, anybody who's like over me, except for the one fucking the one guy. I swear to God, if he was like the same general background as me, I would have to be fucking dialing people because I'd be like, yeah, I've got this ex fucking Stasi officer. Oh,
Hey,
Plain. Hey, welcome, dude.
Hey,
Hey, aloha snack bar, gentlemen.
Hey.
Hello. I see you got my Oahu link bar. Welcome, buddy. Welcome.
Link bar.
You just missed the comedy, man. Okay, so hands down, who would win in a boxing match? Heinrich Himmler or Cthulhu?
I would say Himmler because Cthulhu's main power is to turn someone insane, and Himmler's already there.
Good answer.
That's what I told my supervisor, man.
What did everyone else say?
Cthulhu.
Yeah, and I would need to see
Take
the
it step
stats.
on him, if anything.
I mean, they have some points, but I would say that it would be difficult to turn Himmler insane when he's already insane. Now, Goering's a fat bastard, and I think he would lose just on merit of being out of shape.
I've always wondered about Himmler. Was he insane because of the chicken farming? Was he insane before the chicken farming, or did the chicken farming drive him insane? That was what I was always curious about.
I was wondering that too, and the best I can come up with is it's got to be synergy. It's got to be one increasing the other, and just making it more powerful.
Interesting.
We actually were when I was back. When I was in college, upstate New York, we were actually working on a graphic novel where we tried to answer the question. I really feel bad we never got to finish it. It was good. We were doing a novel about Himmler working on the chicken farm and his slow descent into madness. Like, we had a scene with him in the coop ranting at the chickens, like setting it up like that castle. Where he had all the chickens in the ring like Teutonic Knights.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. I really wish I didn't fall out of touch with those guys. That would have been a good book.
That would have been. I would read that.
Hell, it's better than the comic books that are out nowadays, man. I'd love to see like a comic supervillain version of Heinrich Himmler leading an army of pissed off Teutonic chickens.
Well, fuck, find me an artist. I could probably rewrite it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Novel. I think I still have it, but I read a French graphic novel several years ago called Seven Psychopaths. Anyone read that?
Negative.
No, I've heard that there's a movie based on it, though.
Well, it's actually the
read
same.
the novel.
But the idea is that the Allies have taken 7 known insane.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, you broke up pretty hard there, man.
Yeah, we
The
lost
hell
you for a
happened?
second, please.
Uh-oh. Oh, don't tell me Heinrich Himmler's ghost actually heard me and came out of the basement and started fucking with my electronics.
Am I working?
Well, yeah, okay, I can hear you, Plain.
Okay, it was transitioning between home Wi-Fi and the 4G.
Okay.
But anyway, they send them into Germany, and you don't know whether these guys are actually going to be on the level and actually, try to kill Hitler or not. And immediately when they get there, Hitler's having an assassination attempt, already on him. I don't know if anyone wants to read it, but the best part of it is kind of a spoiler.
Oh Lord, do tell.
The finale is they've disguised. I can't remember if it was one or more of them as Hitler to infiltrate as Hitler to assassinate Hitler, and the Nazis find them and figure out very quickly that they're not Hitler, and the handlers, the Nazi handlers, take them into the room and said, "Oh, this way, come this way." And they find themselves in a room entirely full of Hitler imposters because they think that they're one of the army of Hitler imposters they have. Because apparently 36 of them have been already assassinated, including the real Hitler who was killed during that beer hall putsch back in the 20s.
Wait, what?
They've repeatedly been having Hitler assassinated throughout the entire Reich. And every Hitler since that beer hall putsch that Hitler supposedly got arrested at was an imposter. And they just keep repeatedly getting killed, so they just have an army of artificial Hitlers.
Oh my God, that's fun.
These assassins are more of them.
That's great.
Wow, that sounds like a great comedy skit.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
God.
the perfect ending. I had no idea where this thing was going as it was going on, and it gets to the end, and that's what they did. Is they the Nazis find these imposters and say, "Sweet, more imposters. Come on, we'll put you in
It's
the rest of them."
Oh, my
is it a
God.
black and white graphic novel?
I can't remember. I think it might have been in color, but I'm not sure. I'll see if I can dig it
I
up.
think, yeah, because I think I might have actually thumbed through it. I think I believe it was on Paradox Press. That was DC's alternate.
I think that
graphic
might be
novel
it.
imprint. Yeah.
I think so.
God, I'm such a nerd.
It's got a big the front looks like a big good like Nazi flag, but instead of a swastika, it's got a 7.
I believe that is it. Yeah, I think it is
Yeah.
Paradox Press. They also did the American release of Mouse. That's MAUS.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good book too.
that is. That deserves the awards it's gotten.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, since you brought this up, I would never have remembered it if you didn't mention this. I looked, and my niece was reading a book, and I said, "What is this?" And she said, "Well, this is what they have us reading in school now for English." And I'm looking at it, and you remember the graphic novel Bone?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the required reading now that she actually was reading. I was actually thrilled beyond belief. I was like, "You're kidding me? You're reading Bone?" She goes, "Yeah, why?"
that's
I'm like,
a fantastic choice.
I know. That's why I told her. I started talking to her about it, and she's looking at me like, "You're into this?" I said, "Yeah, this was a comic book." I said, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "Have you gotten to the part yet with the racing Granny? You know, like with Granny and her racing cows?" I said, "And the rat creatures and King Doc." And she looks at me. She's like, "Holy shit, you know all this?"
Yeah,
I go, "Yeah."
yeah. You gotta know Jeff Smith's Bone.
Yeah.
That's one of the true great epics of comics that you can actually hand to a non-comic person and say, "Here, read this. This is why I read comics."
Nice.
It's another book in that vein that does not get anywhere near as much praise, and I haven't seen it in years because it was really obscure. Was Concrete? You remember that
Yeah.
on Dark Horse?
Uh huh.
Oh man,
I miss Dark Horse.
damn, Blaine, I'm going down memory lane now.
It's fortunate to have a good comic shop, though. I didn't grow up into the superheroes, and I finally figured
Yeah.
out as an adult that it was because the comic book code just made it. It ruined the suspension of disbelief. I couldn't believe anything in there. So when I first started, I got into all the independent stuff and all the stuff that wasn't involved in that. So you end up with,
Yeah.
slave labor and Oni in the late '90s and all that kind of stuff. And my comic book shop owner, she actually knew material and could very well read people on what she could recommend. So she started branching me out, and that's how I found Bone, and that's how I found several other things. The last thing she sold me was actually Seven Psychopaths before she shut down. She had some family stuff, and she just had to, step back and make that happen. So, but she was actually they made her one of the Eisner Award judges.
Really?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Kathy Botterini. I want to say it was back in sometime in the past 10 years. She was one of the Eisner Award judges.
Really
if there's
cool.
two comics, it was her, and she only steered me wrong like once or twice, but it was always even those. She was like, "I don't know if you're going to be into this, but it'll tell you a lot more about what you do and don't want in a comic book, depending on whether you enjoy it." And it always made her that much more able to give me good recommendations, and they were never bad. It was just not always quite what I was after.
Into the wrestling.
That's that to me is one of the biggest reasons I fell out of comics as a whole, is just lack of a good shop.
Yeah. It's sad, my shop is still there. Same kid too, same guy. I've known Trung, let me see, I'm gonna be 39. My God, I've known Trung over 32 years now.
Yeah.
He still looks the same. My God, this guy still looks like a teenager from the 80s. I guess it's because he's Vietnamese and they don't age or something, but
Damn.
it's sad because I haven't seen Trung probably in about a year now because I'm not buying, these comic books they're garbage books that they're putting out now with all this shit in them. So
Yeah.
it breaks my heart.
Is it true that Marvel's starting to finally back off it?
Yeah, and they get all this backlash from these SJWs. That's part of the reason I haven't gone to Manhattan, because I keep saying I'm going to run into them drinking their milkshakes and I'm going to strangle one of them.
Well, the people that are making the complaints about it aren't buying the comics.
Marvel finally figured that out, apparently, which is fantastic, because, they're losing their market share with the people who do. And it doesn't help.
The one thing I've always said is if these assholes want their special quad-gendered, trans-dimensional brony lord, superwoman, Superman, super couch, super whatever the hell they want, they can make their own goddamn comic book business. They can make their own production line and shit, and they can make their own fucking special snowflake superhero things. They don't have to go banter on the well-established companies and demand that they make, their fucking insane, stupid heroes. Just make your own stupid comic shop and go, hi, I am Captain Bolshevik. I am running this anti-American quad-gendered trans-dimensional fucking comic shop. And it's so progressive and vacuous and full of sodomist stupidity. Give me money so I can crush capitalism by using capitalism to make capitalistic, communist effing comic books.
To be honest, I would buy one of those just to see what it came out like.
We content them to sell it in the regular comic shop from a regular comic label, as long as they make it worth selling. And that's the problem. They want to make stuff that's not worth selling.
Yeah,
and that's the whole concept, Let them build their business and fall on it.
The thing is, you can have a fantastic superhero who's a quad-dimensional trans-brony lord, whatever, and have a really good story, and you can suspend the realities of commerce and economics, and you can have a really good comic book, but you can't pretend that it's real, and that's what they want to do, is pretend that it's real, and that's where the problem comes in.
Yeah.
The whole thing with me was they started pushing all this shit, and every time they kept saying, well, there's not enough of these people in there, and I'd look at them and I'd say, when they started rattling off that there's not enough superheroes of a certain persuasion, so I'd start listing them.
Yeah.
Then they'd say they wanted another persuasion, so I'd start listing them. Then they'd say what it was is they wanted to take the superheroes who were already established that they wanted and change them.
Right, and that doesn't work. If you want to have a superhero by a certain create one. It's fiction. That's why you do
it.
Yeah. That's the whole concept. It's not reality. It's it's the illusion of reality. That's what comic books are.
Exactly. And once a character's established, the character's established. You don't go pissing all over the people who made the character successful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which is what they've been doing for the past 2 years. They've been trying their damnedest. They went after established characters with a vengeance. I really, what they did to Miss Marvel, I'm beyond angry. Like, the first stuff they made, they made a Captain Marvel, which I was fine with, but this is the thing. I have 5 older sisters. I come from a family of strong women. And the first thing you're going to do immediately with a strong woman is you're going to turn her into a lesbian and give her a buzz cut.
That's what you do to a weak woman who wants to look.
That's my whole point. That's why it bothers me.
Yeah. I grew up with sisters. I've got 3 sisters, and my mom was in the military when she met my dad. It's not like
that's how I'm saying. The best part is, and she was in the Air Force too, Colonel Carol Danvers. That's why it bothers me so much. To me, it's like you turn around, and you go after like the one strong female character established on her own, and okay, we're going to make her a man-hating butch. Why?
Yeah, congratulations. You've taken away the character's essence.
Yeah.
If you want to create a character, great, go for it. If you want to create something new, that's what the industry needs. Even if it's not even, plausible. If you want to create it, go for it. I grew up in the 80s. When I was 5 years old, what was on the television? Rainbow Bright, returning color to a world that was the color was being stolen from.
Yeah.
And that character made it on its own merit, even though the animation was terrible.
Yeah.
Because they made it interesting enough for a 5-year-old to want to watch it. And the thing is, these comic books aren't even interesting enough to get a 5-year-old's attention.
Yeah.
And the saddest thing is, as you know, originally, look, I don't know if you guys were aware, part of the reason I became a journalist was simply because that's actually the easiest way to break into comic books. That's the
No.
It
only,
makes sense.
yeah, that's the only reason I became a journalist, was so I could break into comics. I figured I'd write for like a New York newspaper for like, I don't know, 5 years or so, get into comic books. That was my plan. That was exactly why I got into this. And
God, no wonder you're so pissed off all the time.
yeah. Yeah, why do you think I use this avatar? I fucking hate Disney. They destroyed everything that I worked for my entire life.
God.
That's
I
what they.
kind of originally wanted to do the same thing with video games, but what really got me wasn't the politics trying to ruin video games. It was more so that everything went in this ultra pay for fuck you very much direction. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
like I'm old fashioned with them. Like I want a fucking disc. I want a full game. I want to spend $60 on one stupid game, and I want all this shit to be in there. None of this. I buy it for fucking $60 now, and then 2-3 months I buy it for another $30. That's the one thing that like completely pissed me off. And then when the politics got in there, I was like, I want to play a video game for the video game's politics. That's
I
why I enjoyed
understand.
the Elder Scrolls
I
game.
used to work in the industry, and I always understood the concept when you're sitting there and you're making a full-on, honest to God developed expansion. That's what video games should be able to charge for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, come on our online game and pay to win. That is not, it's not. For one, it's going to take away all the character building you get out of this process.
Yeah, and
you're not
people are
gonna-
starting to get fed up with all that crap.
The actual, earn it and get there on your own merits. I'm talking, you get on there and then get beat by a 10-year-old who, stole mommy's credit card and now he's got all the best equipment and leveled up without earning it.
Yeah, that's why I don't play those games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's why I stick to my classics and shit. Just
They're a lot better games. I got out of that business because I could just see it was going in a direction I didn't want to be a part of.
Well, the good thing is now I can at least use my degree for making YouTube videos.
Yep.
Maybe ironically, security turned out to be a better thing. Wow. Well, holy
Well,
crap!
you
I'm
guys-
glad I've had both you
All,
guys on.
all of you are going to see an upswing in the next couple of years now, because now that they figured out that the president is not going anywhere, unless he does something amazingly stupid, which after watching everything... I'm sorry?
Oh, Sasha was trying to go in the street.
But after everything that he did in the past 2 days with Twitter, and just every Trump supporter I've talked to has just shrugged and smiled and said, that's our president. So it's obvious he's not going anywhere. So the left is finally, at least those in the entertainment industry, like, they're starting to come to grips with the fact, okay, we're going to have to stop pushing our agenda because we're losing money. Look at how the movies did over the past summer. I don't think this summer is going to be anti-Trump.
No, I don't either. I think they know they wouldn't get away with it.
Yeah. They're not getting
honestly,
time out of me.
honestly, this week has led to one of the things I'm legitimately, going against the administration on, reversing their decision on marijuana.
Oh, what, Sessions?
Yeah.
I openly object to that, and I think it's up to Trump to take care of it or take the hit for it.
Yeah, that's one of the few things I can genuinely say. Like, come on, man. Like, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, obviously the American people are
You're
against
expecting to
this.
think.
Well, I'm expecting him to at least use enough thought to, recognize that it's not going to help him.
Yeah, that is,
People-
that is the one thing that the left would be able to use to get any hold
Any
on this
ground
whole-
back that they've lost.
Yeah,
If they
it's unfortunate. Unfortunately, the man is straight edge.
Yeah,
So-
it's the first time this year that I have actually, had something that I'm legitimately just openly flat out, he's wrong on this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
No,
at
they're
the
a lot-
same time, though, I mean, as a corporation, there is a lot of money that goes to the government just in taxes. So I'm hoping that somebody somewhere is going to be like, okay, do we go back to like losing a lot of money and then having to like pretty much go after just pot raids again, or can we just let this one slide?
Well, the thing is, Trump doesn't even
You're gonna be dumb enough to do that.
Donald Trump doesn't even drink, so he's not going to be sympathetic to this particular cause.
Yeah, I mean,
it was still just
brother drank
capitalistic
himself to
point.
death, so yeah.
Well, here's the thing, though. You know, the war on drugs, Schedule 1 narcotics, all of that. It's technically it's all unconstitutional anyway. So
Oh, absolutely.
this is bringing it back to the fore again. This discussion. Now, here's the thing, though. How many people do we have still in jail who are serving life sentences that got caught in the 70s for drugs? Now, if this gets ruled unconstitutional, we got a bit of a dilemma.
Right.
So,
Oh yeah.
this is part of the thing of it all is if this does get pushed through where it's going to go back to the Supreme Court and it's ruled that these drug laws are unconstitutional, we're going to see a really big upswing in people getting released from prisons. I mean, a huge one.
I think we're going to see a lot of issues also, if it does get to the Supreme Court, of precedent upon precedent upon precedent of bad decisions that are going to screw that decision around a bit too.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of suffering over the years over, bad precedents leading to bad decisions that, consistently they have to give full faith and credit to the decision or flat out overturn that decision too, in essence, which is really difficult to do on that level. NFA is another good example of something that was decided on what should have been a mistrial, but the defendant was already dead.
Sheesh.
Yeah, if Sessions really pushes this might actually be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
That might be the plan, and if that's what it is, I hope to see it go instead of just being an unenforced law.
Yeah, I could definitely
stop pretending that particular plant is equivalent to PCP and in public danger.
Oh yeah, I agree with that because it wound up re-kicking up the war on drugs, and I'm pretty damn sure when people start realizing that, they're gonna thoroughly and full-heartedly oppose it, and get at least somebody, and if not somebody, the Supreme Court to go, yeah, how about fuck you very much, Jeff Sessions, and you're fired.
Yeah, well, I do think they need to, for one, they need to strike down the war on drugs on a federal level in general.
Yeah.
If they want to have an import ban, I get that. Whatever. That is a federal part. But banning it across the board, and especially the friggin' prescription system, both need to go.
Yes, prescription marijuana has actually fixed quite a few things, and there's million stupid videos out about that crap.
I'm talking in general, the prescription system as a whole.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
That's all part of the controlled substances issue.
Mm-hmm.
I've been asthmatic my whole life. I know when I need albuterol. I don't need a doctor to tell me I should get some.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's that kind of thing, that tells me just how ridiculous and corrupt the prescription system is. That's something that has no discernible contraindication. When I was on the ambulance, we carried albuterol. There was no contraindication at all for giving someone albuterol.
That's good. I think it's absolutely crazy that all sorts of different doctors and what have you are basically getting prescription quotas. And that's been a thing that's been going on for several years. And there's actually big pharma companies that are literally sticking cameras and crap onto their clipboards and what have you, going, hey, motherfucker, well, you need to subscribe more of our, erectile dysfunction. But all my patients are female. Fuck you, do it anyways. Things like that, just because they want to make a buck.
Yeah.
Do you know that they're actually, it's at the point now by me. Did they actually have to do this, though, because we had a really bad upswing a few years ago? They actually now have the over-the-counter, the cold and sinus, they have to keep behind the counter.
That's all over the place now. They have that in Texas because people were buying it to make meth.
Yeah, same thing over here. That was years ago. People started doing that. They're making all sorts of goofy drugs with cough syrups and what have you.
Yeah.
The stupid commercials for it were even dumber than the people trying to make drugs out of it.
Well, we actually have to keep the mouthwash behind the counters now.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
And now they're moving the painkillers, Aleve and Advil. They have to put they might put those behind the counters now too, because I had bought a bottle I think it was Monday, and I come home and my wife opens it. She goes, "Did you open this yet?" I go, "No, why?" She shows it to me, and the top was the foil inside looked like somebody had just like ripped it open with their fingers and stole a few pills. And there's an older woman there, and I said, "Yeah, I think somebody opened, stole the pills." And she said, "Oh." I said, "Yeah, I don't know how the hell they're going to get high on these." And there was this young blonde mother standing next to me. She says, "Oh yeah, they get high with those. That's what they're taking them for. And these are Aleve painkillers." I look at her. I go, "Aleve gel tabs? How?" And now on the other line next to me, there's an older black girl, and she turns over and she says to me, "That's an ingredient. They add a few other chemicals and they cook it, and you get a designer drug. Aleve's a main ingredient."
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Well,
If they want to cook a leave, let them. Screw it. I don't care.
Man, and I thought me making my exploding, failure of exploding tennis ball was, dangerous and stupid. No, that is absolutely stupid.
Man,
Well, I mean, what could go wrong?
let them put their own chlorine in the gene pool.
Yeah.
Good lord.
If they want to die, it's just I've probably way back ordered on Fox, and when they get here, I'm going to that.
The main reason, though, that I did vote for Trump was we had a problem here. And what the problem was New York Customs let in this synthetic heroin from China. And the synthetic heroin was 10,000 times as powerful as normal heroin.
Well, that'll fuck you up.
I remember hearing something about it.
About 35 of my friends bought it and overdosed.
That'd do it. That's the thing.
So,
I was working in Dallas Fort Worth when cheese heroin was going around, the Tylenol TM plus heroin.
mm-hmm.
I was working on an ambulance, Dallas Fort Worth. I worked a high school kid on that.
Christ, man.
Jesus.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure he made it.
The thing that's so sad too is like the harder the drug like that, the easier it's going to be to get because it's so cheap because it's just such in demand.
Yeah.
You're going to be, it's like, oh, don't worry about the heroin problem, but we're going to make weed legal again and, leave, whatever, fuck it.
I remember I went on another call with a high schooler. This is years ago. And, he was on something. The family didn't know what. I was the low man on the totem pole, so I have my head and stethoscope trying to take a blood pressure. No one knew what he was talking about. And, I came out of the head. And the captain asked me, "Hey, do you know what a Batman?"
Breaking up their plan.
Those, and I was like, "I don't know."
We're losing you, bud.
Back at the station, they were writing the report, and they were trying to do the report, and they didn't know what to say because it was on to Batman. And the driver turns to me and says, "How am I supposed to know what he says? What it means when he says he's rolling on to Batman?" I said, "Rolling? Oh, he's on ecstasy." So why didn't you say that before? I said, "You didn't use the verb. If he's rolling, he's on ecstasy." "How you know that?" "I went to school in California." Yeah, they had no idea to listen for the verb.
So that's, come on now, you got to be better than that. Can't know these terms.
It's like, I went to high school in California. I've never done it, but I know enough people who have. If you're in the medical profession, especially emergency medicine, you had better know the verbs that go with these drugs. It doesn't matter how much the slang changes, the verb pretty much stays the same.
Yeah.
That's kind of sad. I mean, it's needed, but it's kind of sad that you need to know these things or else the patient's just essentially fucked.
Right. I mean, he made it, but we got a happy letter from the parents and all this other stuff, but all because they asked me the noun instead of the verb. You could tell me you're tripping on, tea kettles, and I'd still know you're on hallucinogenic. No matter, you could call it a barbell, and I'd still know you're on hallucinogenic as long as you're tripping.
Yeah. Like if they say that they mainlined, they could tell you that it's My Little Pony. Yeah. You still know it's a name for heroin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, what's the matter with him?
Tell me that was Pinkie Pie, and I'd still know if they said they were,
Yeah. Oh, what's the matter with him? Oh, he was banging Leprechaun. Okay, banging is another word for shooting it into your arm. So
right.
you know what he was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you hear
And they
them
had
say,
no.
I'm trying to think of the vocabulary I remember when I was a kid.
Yeah, I'm blanking on most of it just because I don't hear it as often as I used to. I'm 35 years old and I work in an actual legitimate. But yeah, back when I was in high school, I knew all the terms because I knew people that were doing all of it because I was in a high school in California.
I know it because unfortunately everyone around here is a degenerate fuck and they're all home on parole and they still use the same slang, so I hear it all the time.
Yeah, it's all the same.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna screw one or the other. They're determined.
I don't know. You see the same people, 20-something years ago, they would talk horrible shit about people who were into heavy drugs, and then you see these same animals now doing these heavy drugs. Like, where's your pride?
When people were rail against it, those are always those that I was.
Yeah, it's like Shakespeare, the lady doth protest too much.
Exactly. It's like when you get these congressional Republicans.
You broke out again there, bud.
Yeah, Blaine, you keep switching your Wi-Fi. We keep losing you.
Let me switch off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like every couple of words or sentences and stuff, you're breaking up and stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta shut this down in the next few minutes, though.
There we go. I shut it off.
Okay.
It'll stay on the 4G now.
Yeah. I gotta shut this down in the next few minutes because I gotta get on Lords of the Night here in a few.
Alrighty.
Understand.
Sounds good.
What was I gonna say to you? That's my whole train of thought.
Lucky.
So what, you doing the other stream now, Burnside?
I won't be hosting it. I got a Hangout link to it a few minutes ago. So, whenever everyone's ready in that, I didn't want to completely derail everything. But I was like, oh, crap, I just had enough time to go through the rounds and that. And by the time I got back, she's like, hey, where the hell are you? I was like, shit.
All right. If you want to go through the outros now, I got no problem with it.
Sure. All right. What do you go first?
Okay. I am Scooby331. You can find me here on YouTube. You can follow me on Minds.com and on GabAI.
All right. Next.
All right. I'm Plain Speech. I'm on YouTube. I'm on GabAI. I'm on. I don't know. I'm on something else. I'm on Minds as Liberty for Breakfast. I am not currently a cartoon bear. And I do not steal picnic baskets.
Don't steal picnic baskets. That's funny.
I suppose I'm next. Alt Industry on Twitter. As soon as I get my new rig built, hopefully by the end of this month, I'll have my channel up and roaring. And just as a public service announcement, make sure you check out Andy Worski's stream that with Richard Spencer and Styx Hexenhammer and that bunch. It was actually a pretty good conversation. It really gave me some insight into what that fucker thinks.
Oh, definitely. I myself am gonna have to go and watch that sometime. Get a beer and a popcorn.
Yeah, Sargon was a bit annoying with his, banter with Spencer.
British pomposity.
What's that?
That's
British
pomposity.
Yeah.
Lord, that's funny.
Range doesn't interest me.
I love cracking on that guy's accent and just anybody else with the British accent. Because people just fall and violently masturbate over it, and it's like, it's nothing special. The dude just talks funny.
He basically makes me think of that quote from the Big Lebowski. You're not wrong. You're just an asshole.
Yeah. Shoot. All right, I want to thank chat and also I want to thank Irish Rose and everybody for showing up, as well as my newest subscriber who may be misled as far as my school of thought or whatever. But thank you for watching anyways. Communist in Space, Irish Rose. Let's see, who else do we got here? Not trying not to be a complete dick to anybody. Oh, next 6 minutes. Thank you. Thank you to Cryptic also. And I think that's everybody else. If I forgot somebody, sorry. I just figured out that all these buttons do certain things, so apologies. All right. All right, we'll see you around, everybody. Maybe I'll wind up hosting this thing again if Six leaves the keys laying around. Later.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Adelaide.
Chatelet.